I'm Tom Meyers. I'm an osteopath and a Fit for Futures explorer. And that means that I'm looking at the intersection between biology and culture, because biology is not really evolving fast enough or at the same speed as our cultural evolution that we have developed. So let me explain what Eustasis stands for. And Eustasis is good balance. EU is good, stasis is balance, but balance during change, because it's not only to have a balanced life today with the conditions that we have now, but also who knows what the future is going to develop into. So we have multiple scenarios of the futures. That's why also futurists talk about futures and not a single future. And how can we be balanced? That means, able to adapt and manage the changes. But for that, it's not only psychologically, mentally, but also biologically, because at the end of the day, it's the body that is needing to adapt to the demands. And today, when there are more and more demands on us, and our resources are going down because we are not recuperating and regenerating, or with fear that we are more fearful, that creates again stress, and stress makes us think less. Because of changes in vascularization in the brain, we become more reactive, not proactive. We start to think more about solutions that come from the past, because that's our biology is driven by our ancient software, you could say. And these are not really working anymore for this fast-changing world. It's like, I don't have any internet anymore. And you create a physical tension in the neck, in your shoulders, your heart rate goes up, the blood pressure goes up, your thinking is reduced because you need to react. But of course, if you don't have any internet anymore, well, you need to think better, or are able to say, okay, what can I do about it? Now, and that is what Eustasis stands for. So the good balance, so that when we have the reaction, we can recover immediately, or how can we prevent it so that we are more resilient during the changes, so that we are evolving rather than slowing down our progression and not making the most of all of these wonderful developments that are being created. What we need to, the first steps to really create Eustasis is to know, what do we want and what do we have? What's our potential that we can develop? Nothing is built on muddy ground. You need a solid basis. So I created a DNA for your future, which stands for that what does not alter, but can be expressed in different ways. What does not alter, so you can always fall back upon it. So it gives you grounding. No matter how the world changes, you can always step back and, okay, how can I express this that does not change during my lifetime, and express it in different ways? For example, one of the basics is potential. What is my potential? People that are watching this, you have potential. Why do we have individual potential? Now, I learned that I was a therapist. Today, I'm an osteopath, but in the future, I might be in a retirement home at 100 and listen to the nurses, because they will find me, and I'm still being a therapist. I'll still have meaning and purpose. So potential is a big element of finding from what am I made of, and what do I want to feel? That's another part of the DNA. And aspirations. Why do we do the things we do? Because today we're doing many things, but we're not seem to be able to benefit or profit from that or really enjoy it, because we don't know why we do the things in the first place. So we have to come back to the human basics and evolve them on purpose to fit this fast-changing world. The question is, there is a biopsychosocial and spiritual aspect to human life, right? We are not just biological, we are not just spiritual, we have all of that together. And together we must evolve forward. There is not one that cannot be neglected. But I would say the biological, because the biological is the one that we are neglecting the most, because that's where the psychological, the social, the spiritual inhabits. So if the biological can be improved if we can create less stress from a biological level, that we are more resilient, that we can be more at ease with ourselves, then also it will already automatically have an effect on the psychological, the social, and the spiritual, because everything depends on how the body functions. We often say mind over matter. Well, what about matter over mind? If the matter is in a stress response, you think differently, you behave differently. So I think we really need to start focusing on taking more care of the body. And I'm not saying about doing a marathon or anything like that. I'm saying a bit more, this body needs a bit more relaxation and recuperation time. Well, platforms, learning platforms are crucial, because the future is all about adapting and managing change. Where do we learn that? Well, we learn that on platforms that offer these changes in a very quick way and also can adapt to your learning style. We all learn in different ways. So through AI protocols, they can help us to learn in our way. We can adapt them, but also somewhere we need to concentrate all the information that we have and the new information that is coming. So with these platforms, we can integrate better the changes, and we can build on known knowledge. But also when something changes, how does that changes in relation to what we have seen before? And also more and more personal development and relaxation exercises and tools and ideas of how to create a future's mindset. All of these are becoming tools that we need to learn, but also in our own time, and not in the time that is good for everybody. Some learn in the morning, some learn in the afternoon, some learn at night. We have to accommodate that. And when we have a platform where all of this is available 24/7, my God, we all can benefit. But one thing we have to do is we have to do it, right? It's not that because of the platform exists that it's going to work. We have personal agency to take ourselves into the future, because it doesn't come by itself. We need to create the AI tools and the technology to help us get there. But first we need to know, where do we want to go? If we know where we want to go, then we can use the learning platforms to help us get there. And that is so important. Thank you. The biggest problem people face is the magnitude of what we are in front of. And it's like they always say, to eat an elephant, it's one piece at a time. But you have to break it down. Get again to one of the earlier questions, we need to have a DNA for our future, our individual future. What do I stand for? What do I want? What's my potential? And once you clear the bases, then you can start imagining, let's say, how could an ideal day look like in 10 years' time for me, where I'm evolved, where I futurize myself, and the world has increased. It's, also the technological advances are increasing, but I have gained my balance. So once you have your potential, you can better imagine the Eustasis within a world that is changing. And then it's about, okay, which first step can I take, to develop into the person I want to become and need to be in this fast changing world. It's all about doing the homework first, because then that big elephant becomes small bites. We really have to understand, and we need to help ourselves to get and to help ourselves evolve and to become more relaxed. And it's like, what can we do? It's about social connection, having conversation, having, hugging your spouse and your partner as a meaningful contribution to saying we belong together. And also it's about making those decisions that we are not alone. Get help if you feel stuck. I think that's the one advice that I really can give. You don't have to do it on your own, because that's what most people think. I'm alone, and we are together. We are the individual and society, and there are people that need to help us. Please don't do it on your own, because there are so many things I could say that you could do, but the first advice is always, please, if you're stuck, get help.